The haunting video and audio were recorded by Libby at the moment the murder suspect comes them on this train trestle in deep law.
I have so much hope. I talked to an investigator the other day, and he told me to remember that they're never stopping. No matter what, they're going to keep fighting for us.
And Abby and Libby.
On when they video recorded a man in blue walking down the bridge after them saying,
Delphi, Indiana. A quiet, tight-knit town where life feels simple, safe, and familiar. The kind of place where neighbors greet each other by name, and nothing truly bad ever seems to happen. But beneath that peaceful surface, a dark secret lurked for years, casting a shadow over the community. February 13th, 2017. A day that started like any other, filled with the simple joys of being young. 13-year-old Abigail Williams and 14-year-old Liberty German set out for a hike, looking for a little adventure. Their destination? The Monon High Bridge, a historic landmark known for its stunning views and quiet beauty. At 2:07 p.m., Libby posted a photo of Abby on social media. A carefree moment, frozen in time. No one knew it would be the last sign of them. When the girls didn't show up to meet Libby's dad that afternoon, worry quickly turned into panic. Family and friends searched frantically, their voices calling out into the woods, but there was no answer. At first, police hoped for something simple. They were lost, maybe confused about the time. But the dense woods near Deer Creek held a much darker truth. The next day, the worst fears became reality. Around noon, searchers found the bodies of Abby and Libby less than a mile from the Monon High Bridge. The peaceful trails of Delphi were now a crime scene, and the town's sense of safety was shattered. What followed was a years-long search for answers, a fight for justice that was only just beginning. Details of the murders were initially scarce, shrouded in the secrecy of an ongoing investigation. But the Indiana State Police knew they had something crucial. Just days later, they released a grainy, haunting image. A figure walking on the Monon High Bridge, dubbed the Bridge Guy. He was walking towards Abby and Libby. He became suspect number 1. Then came the audio, a muffled, chilling voice, uttering just 3 words, "Down the hill." It was Libby German herself, in an act of incredible bravery, who had secretly recorded her encounter with the man now believed to be their killer. Her smartphone, a source of teenage connection, became a vital piece of evidence, a digital witness to terror. Libby became a hero, even in death. Fear took hold of Delphi. The blurry photo of a stranger and the eerie voice from Libby's phone became a ghost that lingered over the town. A reward was offered, growing as days passed with no answers. The world watched, shocked and heartbroken, as Delphi became known for a mystery that refused to be solved. Months turned into years. The investigation continued, but the Bridge Guy was still nowhere to be found. Police released a composite sketch months later, hoping for a face to match the figure. But tips led to dead ends. 2 years later, a new sketch, a new direction, they called it. Investigators believed the suspect was hiding in plain sight, someone familiar with Delphi, blending into the everyday. Years passed, but the questions never stopped. The case slowly faded from the headlines, but
4 years after it shocked the city of Delphi, police there are still trying to figure out who killed Abby Williams and Libby German.
Tonight, as our Rich Van Wyk explains, the girls' families are hoping that there's this new online video that can help lead investigators to their killer.
in Delphi, the pain was still fresh, and the fear never really
On
left.
the bridge with them as they're seeing this, it really into perspective for me of what they were seeing. And just the person being there gave me a new perspective of what he looked like.
Was the killer still out there? Justice. Hope started to fade, replaced by an unsettling feeling that answers might never come. Then, in September 2022, a seemingly mundane event, a clerical error, became the key to unlocking the case. A volunteer file clerk, reviewing old tips, stumbled upon a misfiled entry. A name recorded incorrectly, a file wrongly marked cleared. Richard Allen, a name that had surfaced just days after the murders, then vanished into the bureaucratic cracks. Oh, Richard Allen. It's almost hard to believe, but he was actually the one who first brought himself to the attention of the police, right after Abby and Libby disappeared. He walked in and told them.
Well, yeah, he'd been out on those trails that day too, but hadn't seen a thing.
They took his statement, logged his name, and for years, that was it. His name just sat there in the files, collecting dust. Then, out of nowhere, years later, that name pops up again. October 26th, 2022. Suddenly, Richard Allen is in custody. Can you imagine what that must have felt like in Delphi? After all that time, all that waiting, could this finally be the answer? Could this be the moment they'd been praying for? The end to the nightmare? The probable cause affidavit painted a chilling picture. Video from Libby's phone showed a man, believed to be Allen, ordering the girls down the hill. A .40 caliber unspent round found near the bodies matched Allen's gun. Witnesses spoke of a muddy, bloody man leaving the bridge, a car parked suspiciously. And then, period, the confessions. Prosecutors revealed a shocking truth. Allen had confessed to the murders over 60 times while incarcerated, to his wife, his mother, family, even prison staff and fellow inmates. Confessions made in person, over the phone, in writing. He was the bridge guy, they declared, presenting enhanced video footage as proof. The defense argued mental illness, painting a picture of a man burdened by depression and anxiety. But the evidence was mounting, the whispers of doubt fading. After weeks of harrowing testimony and agonizing deliberation, the jury reached a verdict. Guilty. Richard Allen was convicted on all counts. In December 2024, he was sentenced to 130 years in prison. A collective sigh of relief swept through Delphi, but the victory was bittersweet. Justice, yes, but at what cost? The town would forever be marked by the tragedy, by the loss of Abby and Libby. Orange lights still flicker on porches across central Indiana, a poignant reminder of the darkness that once gripped Delphi, and a symbol of remembrance for Abby and Libby.
Now up to more than $225,000.
Investigators tell us the number of tips that they have now received has tripled since Libby German's grandfather spoke yesterday. Support for the families of those two teen girls doesn't appear to be waning. RTV6's Chance Walser has much more on how some, even nationwide, are rallying around those families tonight.
If you spend any amount of time in Delphi these days, you'll see signs of support for the families of Libby and Abby, including orange lights, like the ones you see here on the True Value hardware store. Shortly after the girls went missing, a Facebook group started called Light Up in Orange for Abby and Libby. The movement has since spread throughout the country, with people posting evidence of their support from places like South Carolina and Tennessee. Local hardware stores from Carroll and surrounding counties have struggled to keep up with demand for orange bulbs. Delphi's True Value store has a waiting list 4 pages long.
The Abby and Libby Memorial Park stands as a testament to their lives, a place of healing and hope for future generations. The Delphi Murders case, a long and arduous journey for justice, finally reached its conclusion. But the memory of Abigail Williams and Liberty German, the heroes of their own story, will forever echo through the quiet trails of Delphi. Let us remember Abby and Libby. Let their story be a reminder of the fragility of innocence, the strength of community, and the enduring quest for truth, even in the darkest of shadows.